Hi guys, how are you all doing? I hope all of you doing well and all of you are safe with your families at home. Well, this year is Tata Motors telling you Happy Diwali in advance, because this is a gift to all Indian customers, car buyers from Tata Motors, and this of course is the Tata Punch. It's their new micro SUV, and why I'm saying it's a gift is because the starting price of this car is very attractive, and not only that, the looks of this car are also very cool and very stylish. In fact, when you see it from the front end, the head-on shot, you'll think of it as a miniature version or a downsized version of the Harrier and the Sapphire. It really does look very similar to those cars. You get the same kind of treatment over here. You get the daytime running lamps and the indicators over here, and the main headlamps are below it. And of course, these are projector lamps, which is something which is unheard of at this price point in any car. So that's something very good. You also get a flush grille, and of course the silver below the main grille, so that's also a silver accent, which looks very cool. But the face isn't the only nice part about this car. When you see it from side on, you'll see the tires on this car and the alloy wheels, and the tires are 16-inch wheels which are running on 195 section tires. So they're wide tires, which means that grip levels will be good, and the handling as well as the ride comfort is also very good. But we'll talk about those things on a little later in this video. Let's talk about the looks, and as you can see, the dual shade over here also works very well with this brown color. You can also choose white with blue and different combinations. It really does look very good. But enough of the exteriors. What do you think of the looks? Do you think that the looks are interesting and are very, very attractive, just like I think? You can let me in the comment section below. If you're coming to this channel for the first time, please do subscribe to it. My name is Ashish Masih on Auto Portal, and do subscribe because we keep giving you car reviews on a very regular basis. Let's jump inside and show you the interiors now and tell you what makes the Punch so special and does it deliver on the promise of, punching out its rivals. Let's get started with this video. Woodmo, as you might be aware by now, is the online expert in terms of spare parts. If you want a spare part for your vehicle, they have it in their list. They have the most extensive spare parts catalog, right from the most affordable small car to the top of the line luxury car, you name the car, and they have the spare parts for it. And the best point is that they have the spare parts from a host of different component makers and different price segments for the same spare part. So if you want to buy a cheaper part from a different maker or a more expensive part from a different component maker, they have the option for you. Well, so before opening the boot of this car, let me just show you one design feature. There's a rhinoceros, I think, which Tata engineers have put or designers have put on the rear screen of the car. Why is that there and what does it signify? You can let me know in the comment section below. Let me just open the boot and show you the boot. Now this is 366 liters. That's what Tata claims, which means that this car's boot is even bigger than the Nexon's boot. Now in terms of the shape and size, it is quite good, and you can easily load it all the way up over here to the shelf, which means there is a spacious boot. The lower part is nice and large, so you can easily put in 2 or 3 large pieces of suitcase. The only minor negative is that there's a bit of a sill over here, but then again, when you consider the overall starting price of this car, and when you consider all its other rivals and see that all their boots are smaller than this car, you can easily forget that loading sill. Overall, quite nice. But what's even nicer is the back seat. Well, so let me just enter the back seat from this angle because I want to show you how it is. The doors, I just told you, open nice and wide at 90 degrees, and the seats also are high set, so getting in and out is a very breezy affair. If my camera comes down now, I'll show you the exact angle how it is to get inside the cabin, and it's a very nice affair. Once my camera jumps down, I'll show it to you from here. Now as you can see, the seats also are high set, so this is what I meant. Getting in and out is a very breezy affair. You can adjust the headrest over here and easily sit over here. The backrest angle is slightly inclined, could have been better, could have been a little more reclined to make it more comfortable, but it's still okay. Seat space over here, the leg space is very good. Front seats have been raised up, so you get excellent place to stretch your feet. The floorboard is completely flat, so whoever's sitting in the middle has plenty of place to stretch his feet as well. And generally, it's a decent car in terms of width. Now, it's not the widest car because it is a micro SUV or a mini SUV. So it's not the widest car, but you can still squeeze in 3 over here. 2 will be more comfortable though. And of course, you can easily take this armrest out and sit here like the boss and just have a nice and breezy day sitting over here, and tell your driver to take you to Southex for that important meeting, or take you to Land's End for that, fiesta in the evening with your friends. Anyways, guys, I'm very impressed with the space in the backseat. What do you think? You can let me know in the comment section below. Now let's jump in the front, show you the front end of the car, and after that, take it out for a spin. Well, so the reason I'm showing you the interior of the front end from this side is just to show you the opening of the door. And as you can see, It's at a nice 90-degree perpendicular angle. So really it's a wide aperture. The doors open nice and wide at 90 degrees. So getting in and out of this car is an easy affair. It's also a very high set car, as you can see from the ground up. So the seats also are nicely set up. So you get a good view of the road ahead. It's a very nice SUV position. The steering wheel also feels nice to grip and gets a lot of functions. The cruise control buttons over here, the stereo control, the volume control over here for the Bluetooth as well. And of course, it's the same steering wheel which you find on the Altroz, so it's nice to grip. Talking about similarities, the gauges also are similar to the Altroz. So you get a semi digital cockpit because half of them are in digital display, and the speedometer is the regular analog type. Very cool to look at, very nice design, and very easy to read as well. Brightness levels are good. What's also easy to read and operate is the Harman 7-inch sound system. It's a very good system to operate, and it really is the best in terms of the sound quality. It gets a 6-speaker setup. The bass is clear, the overall dynamic range is good, and in general the fit and finish inside the cabin also is very nice. What you'll also like is of course that you get different drive modes to choose from. You can choose from city mode,
economy drive mode activated,
or economy mode. Both modes are there. And of
city
course,
drive mode activated.
You also get this start stop function. So in case you want to turn it on, all you need to do is at a signal when you stop the car, it'll shut down automatically. The engine will shut down, and when you depress the clutch again, it'll start. So that's something which also saves a lot of fuel. Apart from this, you also get multiple airbags, you get automatic headlamps, you get automatic wiper, which is really unheard of in this segment and this price point. And of course, you get automatic climate control as well, along with cooled glove box in the front. So that's another feature which a lot of manufacturers don't offer in this segment or at this price point. And the seats also adjust for height, which is great. The only small negative that I can think of inside this car is that the steering wheel adjusts only for reach and not for rake, but that's about it. Because it's such an impressive place to be, it's very difficult to find a big fault or a major fault inside the cabin of this car. Overall, Tata engineers done a fantastic job. They've offered you everything. The only thing really missing is of course this adjustment and maybe a sunroof. But then if you want to buy a car with a sunroof, you can always choose the more expensive and much bigger Tata Nexon. Anyways, that's enough about the interiors. Now let's get to the main bits. Let's get to the driving bits and tell you how this new car is to drive. Well, so the nice and easygoing nature of the Tata Punch in the exterior and on the outside also extends to the driving bits. And it's a 1.2 3-cylinder unit, but unlike a lot of other 3-cylinders which tend to become noisy and boomy when you rev them, this one is very quiet, and it is also vibration free. Yes, there's a little bit of noise, a little bit of vibration when you start from cold, but once things warm up nicely, this engine remains largely very quiet and very nice and tractable engine to drive in the city. What you'll also enjoy about this car is the gear shift and the clutch. There is of course a 5-speed manual, and there's also a 5-speed AMT. Today we're only driving the manual, and the manual definitely seems to have very positive shift pattern and very light action as well. And the clutch action also is pretty light, which means that driving this car on a daily basis inside the city traffic shouldn't be a chore in the least. It should really be a very easy breezy kind of an affair. So that's something that a lot of buyers will truly appreciate and truly enjoy. What you'll also enjoy about this car is of course the fact that visibility is excellent all across. You get very good forward visibility because you can see the edges of the bonnet. The rearview mirrors are nice and big, and it is a compact car. It's not a very large car. It's under 4 meters, and it is of course mini SUV. But when this car rides, the ride comfort and overall the ride quality shows very good maturity levels. It really feels like a nice and mature car in terms of the ride comfort. So that's something which a lot of buyers will appreciate. In fact, on the highway, when I was doing speeds in excess of 100 kph, this car felt very stable, very reassuring, and I think this is the most stable and confidence-inspiring car that you can find in this segment or at this price point, because all other cars tend to become a little, light when you excess or hit speeds in excess of 100 kph. But this one definitely feels very nice and stable. So that's something which a lot of buyers will appreciate who drive a lot on the highways on a regular basis. What you'll also appreciate is a light steering wheel. Even though it is light, there's decent amount of feedback, and it is a positive steering wheel because the communication from the steering wheel is quite good. So that's something which buyers will also like. And if you drive a lot in the city, if you are someone who drives a lot himself, then this is a car that you won't feel tired in, because all the controls are light, the clutch is light, the gearbox is nice and light. It's a positive action gearbox, and the steering also is light. It's accurate, but it's pretty light. So these are things which make it a nice car. The engine also feels pretty good in terms of power delivery. It's a 86 bhp engine, 1.2 3-cylinder, as I just said. There's no diesel on offer, and there probably won't be even in the long run. So this is the only engine which we'll get. And I have to say that in terms of performance, it's more than adequate. In terms of power delivery, it's quite good. Refinement levels are also quite good. In fact, I really can't hear the engine. Even when I rev it hard, it seems like a murmur and not something that is disturbing me inside. In fact, the engine is so quiet that the only bit of negative thing that I have to say about the noise levels is that sometimes you can hear the AC fan over here, which can be a little obtrusive sometimes. So if you shut it off completely, the cabin becomes very calm, but that's a negative only because the engine is so quiet and the drone of the engine isn't there, which will trouble you. So that's the reason why even the AC fan is sounding a little loud. Well, so overall, the Punch doesn't come across as a cheap car or an affordable car. It feels like a mini-sized or a downsized version of the much more posh and more expensive Nexon, and even maybe the Harrier, because this car's looks from the front are like the Harrier. The interiors are just as posh and upmarket as the Nexon, and the features list really is something which no other car at this price point or in this segment has to offer. So Tata really has hit the punch with the punch, and it really is a fantastic product. I would reckon that if you're in the market for your first car, if you're planning to buy a hatchback, if you're planning to buy a premium hatchback, if you're planning to buy maybe compact crossover or something like that, just try and check out the Tata Punch at a dealership. Even you'll be very impressed with this car, just as I've been today. It's spacious, it's nice to drive, the ride comfort is good, the build quality is very good, the features list is exceptional, and overall it's an impressive product.